Catacomb of Rome. So the catacombs that are built in a very narrow space with several levels underground. As you can see, this is another slide. Went from was 1.92 tons. Oh, okay. And if we look at locally, it's called pastoral, and it's fake. It's fake because the pastoral became an object of the church starting from 11th century. St. General died on we just put it on his grave to recognize his grave. St. General was sentenced to death 3 times. The first time happened in Cimitile, near Nola, city near Naples, because he was discovered to converting public pagans to Christians. For this, he was sentenced to be burned alive in the oven. But legend says that St. General survived. And John first is him. And here we have also the last type of grave. It's called arcosolium because it's composed by an arch and the solium, bed of the grave. The arcosolium would have a fresco. John first is in a circle. The circle was used just for the bishops or for the saints. And we can find all the 3 types of graves, so the form, the locally, and the arcosolium, in the cubiculum. The cubiculum are the private chamber that could be closed by a gate. So John I is in the bishop's crypt. It's called bishop's crypt because it tells the grave of John I and other 7 graves of other 7 bishops of Naples. You saw the Catacomb of Naples? No? Because in this crypt we have also the arcosolium of Codul Deus. Codul Deus has the same story of St. Galioso. Both were African bishops from the Bithynia, North Africa, and they lived during the period of Genserico. Genserico was the king of the Vandals, and he was Arian, so he didn't recognize the holy nature of Jesus. For this, St. Galioso and Codul Deus were sentenced to death on a raft in the Mediterranean Sea. But this raft reached the coast of Naples. They spent here the rest of their life. St. Galioso was buried into the other catacomb and Codul Deus here. Anyway, St. Gennaro stayed here until the 9th century. In the 9th century, Naples was under attack by Sicone I, the Prince of Benevento. Sicone tried to conquer Naples, but it didn't happen. So he came here, extramania, outside the city walls, stole the San Gennaro's bones and took them to Benevento. But in the 12th century, Benevento was under attack by the Normans. So for security reasons, the San Gennaro's bones were moved to Avellino in Montevergine. And then he returned in Naples just at the end of the 15th century. He's now in the Duomo, the cathedral. When St. Gennaro was stolen, this catacomb was abandoned, and the Benedictine monks came here. In fact, we have this fresco of a Benedictine monk on the left and St. Gennaro on the right. But why St. Gennaro is so important? Do you know the miracle of St. Gennaro, the St. Gennaro's blood? Okay, we have the blood of St. Gennaro in a little vase in the Duomo. This blood on September 19, December 16, and the Saturday before the first Sunday of May, this blood from solid becomes liquid. So the blood liquefies. I know that it's weird, but that's it. And now, if the blood liquefies, everything is okay. But if the blood doesn't liquefy, April 30, blood liquefies, so we are safe for now. So if you want to go on the Vesuvio, go before September. You don't know if it's September in April. I told you that on the San Gennaro's grave, the Apostles built a church. We are now inside this church because if you look at that, you notice this vault that was closed by the columns here. And this is the bishop's church. It's called like this because it hosted the frescoes of the first 14th bishop of Naples. In fact, we can read in Roman numbers the 50th. All the frescoes are gone, but this one, it's Saint Aspreno, the first bishop of Naples. The San Gennaro's grave was discovered just 50 years ago, in 1970, because here was closed by a floor, and here was closed by a wall. So the archaeologists tried to destroy this wall, and they put the tools on the floor. The floor fell down, and they discovered the roof. Any questions? Good. Actually, I'm waiting for a question. That is the most frequent question that I receive every day. But take your time. So now, if you want, take the photos, and then we go on the oldest part from the upper level.
Half the time is in bad terms.
What's that?
Half the time is in bad terms. There's no sense anymore.
Right, oh yeah. There's a bone there.
Yeah.
See at the second level?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
When did people discover he was black? When did people discover he was black if he was painted white?
That's from the 9th century, and Saint John from the 5th. For the pagans, they are just a god and a goddess. They use this as an exit with this image of Saint now. But the first image that is so we leave this as an entrance. Follow me. So this image of Jesus. So probably the owners of this area convert themselves to Christianity, or just the city to give this room to the Christian community, or just abandon it, we don't know. Anyway, between the late 3rd century and the beginning of the 4th century, the relics of Saint Agrippino was the 6th bishop of Naples and first in a cemetery right outside the walls of the city. Now, this garden is from 4th century, so also here we can see symbols that can be a symbol of this. For example, the fire. The daughter cat the 10th century and started from the 16th century until the 19th century. Church is from late 3rd century, beginning of the 4th century, and is still consecrated. So we are now the on the left and Saint Agrippino on the right. On this fresco we have a lot of graffitis. Some of them it's from the period of the 2nd